I'm here with Mary Phillips, the Director of IT from the Santa Clara Unified School District. Welcome, Mary. So tell us about your district. How big is it? How many users? How many schools?
We have 25 schools and growing. In the next couple of years, we'll add a couple more. We have about 15,000 students and 15,000 adult ed students.
And what was your old solution before you brought on CallTower?
We used a Nortel system, and it was a regular analog Nortel system throughout all the schools.
And what was the biggest challenge? Why did you decide to go with CallTower?
Well, Nortel was very limited, the system that we had. It was connected by T1 lines. T1 line would go down and the school would lose communication. There was no integration of the telephone with email or e-faxes or office communicator. There was just no integration at all. Plus, it was reaching end of life, so there was no support of the system. So we'd be spending all this money for nothing, for no future.
So why did you decide to use a hosted provider?
Well, with the experience of the Nortel system and having a switch here and having to maintain that switch, it was more trouble than it was worth, and it was too expensive. So we were paying for 2 vendors to support and 2 telephone technicians just to support a phone system that was not cost effective. Plus it was so limited, it was just like throwing our money down the drain. The hosted solution, somebody else is taking care of it for us. We can get on with our business. We can still support it with more limited resources, and plus it integrates with everything that we're doing with our hosted. We're going to be hosting Exchange as well, and it integrates with everything. So we have one communication system, a communication tool that works, that's integrated with everything else we do.
So what are the services you currently use?
For CallTower, we're using eFax. We're using OCS, Office Communicator, which does chat, sharing desktops, dialing without your hands, you know, those kind of things. We're using video phones, so we can talk face to face. We're using the integration with Exchange so that we can phone someone from our email, and we're using transcription services so that all of our phone messages come through our email. We don't have to actually listen to it on the phone.
And how are the users liking it?
They love it. They're just now starting to understand the power that this gives them. I mean, it ties in with their PDAs as well, and they just have one fully functioning communication system and not several pieces. So they're really enjoying it. They're starting to understand where it saves them time, and it just gives them more time to work with students.
And so Mary, can you tell us about the E-Rate program and the discount you were able to get?
Well, first I want to compare it to what we were doing. We were using a Nortel system, and AT&T was our provider, and we were paying them with E-Rate and CTF about $250,000 a year. Now we're paying the same exact amount, about $250,000 a year, plus we're getting so much more for our money, plus we're getting the support that we need. So I think that the bang for the buck is on the hosted VoIP solution.
For the future, what features and services do you envision you might use?
Well, I'm envisioning that the communication systems are going to be completely different like 2 years from now. I don't think we're going to have cords anymore. I think everything's going to be kind of wireless. I think phones are going to come out that way, you know, built for education and wireless capacity. And, you know, it's going to all be handheld. And because of that, and the transition is going to be very easy for school districts who do the hosted VoIP, because it's only going to be the handset that they're going to have to worry about. They're not going to have to worry about any of the infrastructure because it's already taken care of.
And so lastly, why CallTower, and how satisfied are you with our service?
Why CallTower? At the time, honestly, they were the only ones out there with the hosted VoIP solution that I wanted. I wanted a full-featured. I didn't want just a piece of VoIP. And the other vendors came and said, "Hey, I can give you phone," and that's it. They couldn't integrate it with email. They couldn't integrate it with anything else. And so, to me, that was a really powerful selling point. Through the process, I don't regret it a bit, because I found CallTower to be extremely honest and extremely supportive, which is something you don't usually find after you've paid your money.